Story 1. It is hard to explain, but it is like feeling both comfortable and nervous at the same time. There is this sense of wanting to be close to them, but also unsure of how they feel, which keeps your emotions on edge in a good way. Story 2. Different levels. When I'm physically attracted to someone, it's like, whoa, and I can feel it in my entire downstairs. When I'm attracted to someone for who they are, it's like every part of them I learn makes my feelings grow and grow into a heart and head happy feeling, butterflies in your stomach, nervousness, then that turns into a lust. Like, wow, I adore you so much that I'm starting to get turned on by the way you say or do something. Story 3. If this is a new person, then when you think about them and smile, sort of moments, whether they are there or not. If it's someone you've known for a long time, I'd say it's the desire to want more of them, like an extra scoop of ice cream when you're tempted. Story 4. Reading the answers here makes me question if I have ever truly been attracted to anyone in my entire life. I thought I have been, but now I'm not so sure. Story 5. For me, it's this constant urge to share everything with them. I'll be grocery shopping and see their favorite snack or watch a stupid cat video and immediately think, oh my God, they'd love this. It's like having a mental folder labeled with their name that everything somehow relates to. Story 6. Have you ever experienced stage fright? The whole butterflies in your stomach feeling? Imagine a version of that feeling, except it feels good, not bad. Thinking about them gives you pleasant feelings. Talking to them can make you nervous and self-conscious, but if they respond positively, it's like walking on air. Like reading a book you love, except the book always has more interesting chapters to read, and the author is writing for you specifically. Getting compliments from them is the best feeling, because it means someone who matters to you a lot thinks highly of you. Conversely, being overlooked or ignored feels terrible, because it means you don't matter to them even though they matter to you. Not anyone's fault, but it does feel bad nonetheless. Attraction can run the gamut from a very tiny tug. It's pleasant being around this person, all the way up to full-blown obsession and unhealthy intrusive thoughts and bad coping mechanisms. Some people rarely feel attracted to others. Some people experience it often or easily, which can be totally normal or very much not normal, for example, desperate grasping for emotional connection. Story 7. You get excited when they reply, or better yet, initiate conversations because it means they like talking to you. You get interested in their hobbies, past and present. You want them to be happy with you. Story 8. It's not all I want to get them alone and naked, although that's certainly part of it. All their jokes are funny. All their comments are insightful. It's the emotional equivalent of the sun coming out from behind a cloud when they walk in a room, and it feels like it's been raining nonstop for however long you don't see them. You feel you're at your best and wittiest when you're talking with them, although sometimes you totally step in it in your enthusiasm. It's a heck of a drug. Story 9. Like I never want to stop looking at him. Like the idea of his face alone makes me smile. Like I found a perfect piece of art. After 13 years, I still get butterflies when he smiles at me. I want him around for my viewing pleasure. I want all of what he has to offer. It feels exciting, sensual, romantic, and safe all at once when I'm looking at his gorgeous, perfect face and body. Story 10. Attraction is that moment when you realize your heart has decided to play dancing queen while your brain is stuck on Mission Impossible. Spoiler alert, the heart usually wins. Story 11. The way I don't understand or relate to any of these answers has kind of given me the answer to the question I've been asking myself. I don't think I've actually ever had a crush or been in love. I can find women attractive physically and have lusted towards them, but never love. I fooled myself into thinking I had a crush by pursuing a girl who liked me, but I realized I felt nothing for her. I'm only 17 years old, so maybe it's too early for me, but the fact that I'm halfway through high school and have never had any sort of crush is also weird or worrying. I mean, I fantasize about being in love, so I guess that's a start. Or maybe I'm doomed to be alone. Story 12. It is unfortunate. Basically, you feel like you want to spend time with that person, talk to them, be around them, and have to deal with the reality that they do not want to spend any time with you. It might still be better than feeling nothing, though. Story 13. On one hand, it is bliss. When you are with them, you just feel like you are living instead of surviving. You can barely control your smile. As a smoker, I forget I even smoke. On the other hand, it is hell. You miss them when they are not around, even if they don't miss you. You are constantly reminded of them. Oh, they would laugh about that. Oh, they would love this. The worst part is being friend-zoned, though, especially when you've been on a date too, and you are told you did nothing wrong, they just don't see a relationship. You feel like your body is overheating, like there's just a void in your chest. You can't sleep properly, no hunger, and if you do manage to eat something, you feel sick. And the most messed up part is you want them to be happy, but at the same time, it hurts to find out they are happy with the situation. Don't get it. I know I use a lot of you, but it's more from my point of view. Story 14. I feel like there's a burning desire, like an artist who has an epiphany and has to get his hands on that clay and pour his passion onto it to realize his vision. The other is similar to the first, but also a feeling of happiness, as if you're looking forward to spending time with her and are happy to just enjoy her smile and all the other little things, and also the burning passion part too. Story 15. Being in a room filled with people and they're the only one you can look at. Being normally shy, but when talking to them, you feel as though you're the most talkative person. Canceling plans with people, but as soon as you know they're going, you change your mind. Looking at them and you can't help smiling. Bonus points if they call you out on smiling so much, but you didn't even realize you were smiling until they pointed it out. When you get an overwhelming sense of excitement when you're near them. There are many more, but here are a few that I personally think pinpoint what it feels like to be attracted to a person. Story 16. You want to spend all your time with them and be as close to them as possible, but you're also nervous that they might not feel the same way, so at the same time you kind of want to avoid them so you don't make a fool of yourself. When they're away from you, they're often a big topic in your brain. They're on your mind a lot. This is what I'm like. Anyway, everyone else is different, of course, but the chemicals in our brains make us think, feel, and behave in strange ways to get us to reproduce. I don't know if you're possibly attracted to someone, but I hope it goes well if you are. Story 17. I would die for him. He gives me a reason to get out of bed even on my worst days. The sun seems to shine brighter when we are together, and I cannot remember a time I was happier. Story 18. I don't know about general attraction because I haven't had a relationship in a long time, but I know the right person will make you feel peaceful and calm. They will evoke an inner resonance and vibration, like the sun is glowing inside you. Anyone who makes you feel nervous or like you can't relax into yourself isn't right. Story 19. Met a woman, and we had this crazy attraction I could not explain. I did not know her, and she did not know me. We looked at each other, and it was like we knew each other. I just wanted to jump her. She just wanted to jump me. We hooked up for a few months. It was just sexual until, well, she got married. Then I told her that it was over. I never could explain why we had this crazy attraction. It was fun and nice while it lasted. Fun fact, I don't believe in love at first sight or stuff like that, so it was a strange thing to happen to both of us. Story 20. If someone is attracted to you, you will know it. They will be looking you in the eyes, really tuned into whatever you are saying, laughing if you make a joke, even if it is not good, possibly asking you questions. If you are steering the conversation and the person does not seem tuned in at all, they are probably not attracted to you. Story 21. Being attracted to someone feels like this magnetic pull you can't quite explain. Your heart races when they are close, and you start noticing even the smallest details about them, like their smile or the way they talk. Story 22. An instinct of devotion, you want to do so much for that person. You don't know why, but certain parts of that person just make you happy. If you always see them, they are like an unread book that you want to read all night long, no matter its contents. Story 23. From a biological perspective, being attracted to someone triggers a cascade of physical and chemical reactions in the body and brain. Here is what happens. 1. Brain chemistry changes. Dopamine surge. Attraction activates the brain's reward system, releasing dopamine, which creates feelings of pleasure, excitement, and focus on the person. Norepinephrine. This chemical increases alertness and heart rate, causing the butterflies in the stomach sensation and a heightened sense of energy. Decreased serotonin. Levels of serotonin may drop, leading to obsessive thoughts and preoccupation with the person. Story 24. Like just seeing a random person and thinking he's hot. Or like in a relationship attracted to someone physically, sexually, emotionally, and spiritually, because those both feel very different. And are we talking about what it feels like emotionally or physically? Because again, there's a big difference. Story 25. It's like your body goes into complete betrayal mode. I once spilled an entire cup of coffee on myself because my crush unexpectedly sat next to me at the library. The worst part? I pretended it didn't hurt while my legs were literally burning. Story 26. I see someone and want to pursue if they are single. Drop flirtatious stuff. If they pick it up, then I go harder. The thing you have to look for is boundaries and blocking. Boundaries can sometimes be worked around. Blocking is final. Attractiveness and where you want to go are a chemical effect. Lust, beauty, woes, and foes. Naturally go with the flow and it just might be so. You know? Story 27. It's like your brain and heart have a secret meeting you were not invited to. Suddenly, their laugh sounds like your favorite song, and you catch yourself remembering the smallest things about them, like how they hold their coffee or the way they say certain words. It's exciting, a little nerve-wracking, and somehow feels out of your control. Story 28. Being attracted to someone feels like your heart skips a little when they are around, and you catch yourself overthinking the smallest things you say or do. Story 29. It's a literal chemical reaction in your brain. Your heart rate goes up a little, sometimes a lot. You get tunnel vision, where everything else fades into gray and you only see them. If they get really close, this intensifies and you become hyper-aware of their presence. And there's the good old-fashioned arousal. Story 30. When you look in her eyes and she looks back in yours, everything feels not quite normal because you feel strong and weak at the same time. You feel excited and at the same time terrified. The truth is you don't know the way you feel, except you know the kind of man you want to be. It's as if you've reached the unreachable, and you weren't ready for it. Spider-Man. Story 31. There are different ways to be attracted to someone and different levels. Physical or sexual attraction can just be an afterthought that you don't even realize you have. Nice ass. Then go on about your day. But an intense romantic attraction, I would say, usually feels bad. It makes you nervous, like you want to cry and vomit. Or it can feel like a soothing warmth in your body. This is usually when it is reciprocated. Story 32. It's like a weird mix of butterflies and wanting to know everything about them. A total head rush sometimes. You just want to be around them all the time. Story 33. Thinking about this person makes you smile. You want to be around them and make them smile as well. A few things to be aware of. 1. Be an adult. Not everyone is going to like you the way you want them to. Accept that and move on with your life if the attraction is not returned. You are not responsible for their happiness. You will not agree on everything. In fact, chances are you will not fully agree on anything. Do not take offense if their views are different from yours. Depending on the level of difference, this person may still make at least a good friend who, if nothing else, offers you a perspective you may have trouble grasping. Story 34. Wouldn't know. I turned that part of my brain off. Best for ugly losers like me to accept the fact I'll be alone for the rest of my life. It gets easier as time passes. At my age, it's for the best. Life is happier for me being alone. I actually prefer it now. Story 35. It's a feeling imprinted in our state of mind that controls us to do what is needed to get to her, to see her, to talk to her. It's a feeling of relaxed happiness that life is good, at least for the time. Story 36. It feels like you're possessed, and that possession means everything to you now. Your mornings and nights, everything is just filled with him. Even the thought of him on your mind feels like it completes something in you. You love that destruction of yours. You just forget yourself and only he remains. It feels like I want to be that person. I want his smile. I want his lips. I want to be connected with everything that he is connected to. His likes are liked by you. His strengths strengthen you. His choices make you choiceless. Now, his choices are what you want to choose. You want to give everything to him and accept all the loss for it. Your heart becomes heartless for everything that doesn't include him. You fly without wings. You fight without weapons with every battle that obstructs your way to him. That's it. Haha. Story 37. A dream, all a dream, that ends in nothing and leaves the sleeper where he lay down. But I wish you to know that you inspired it. Sidney Carton, A Tale of Two Cities, Charles Dickens. Story 38. If it is solely physical, then the signs usually reside with the trouser region. If it is more than physical, then it's being excited and nervous to be around them at the same time. Your thoughts might drift to them in any situation. For me, it was a sort of pull towards that person, just a desire to be around them. Story 39. Sometimes you smile at them before they even know you are there. Then they turn or look up and see you and smile back, and that fluttering in your belly starts. As opposed to the same scenario with someone you are not attracted to, you may still feel happy after a look or chat, but you don't get the warm fuzzies. And when the attraction is mutual, you can feel it in a look or smile. A touch on the arm or just some friendly flirting leaves you feeling almost breathless. At least that's how it is for me.